So this is going to be a very different type of video than my usual one. The American military just announced the F-47, a 6th generation fighter. But what would that look like in Warthunder? I'm just going to preference this real fast. We basically know nothing about this vehicle because it's so secretive, it's not fully developed, and of course there's a bunch of propaganda around it. Now there are a few things that we do know for certain. These are the engines, they're either the XA-102 or the XA-103 Pratt & Whitney engines, but we don't really know how much thrust they have. On Afterburner it's estimated to be upwards of 40,000 pounds. And the fact that it has a canard setup, meaning it's going to be a lot more maneuverable than the current F-22, F-35 variants. Since the F-47 is intended to be a replacement for the F-22, we're going to assume it has better stats. In the press conference, they did say this vehicle was going to be a lot faster, a lot more maneuverable, and a lot more powerful. What we know is the F-22 can reach a top speed of Mach 2.25, and it can supercruise at about Mach 1.5. So we can kind of lowball it and assume that its top speed is going to be Mach 2.3, and it'll be able to supercruise at Mach 1.6. And due to the fact that these engines are just improvements in general and say they have higher maneuverability, we can probably assume it has better thrust vectoring capabilities. But through the American Air Doctrine, we know this thing's probably going to focus on BVR. So it probably will have more missiles than the current F-22, which has 8 missiles. It can carry 2 AIM-9X Block 3s and 6 AIM-120s. The F-22 can also carry 2 external AIM-120s, pulling it up to 10 missiles total. Since 6th generation fighters are pretty much focused on stealth, we could probably assume all the weapon bays are going to be internal. And if it isn't an improvement, we can probably expect maybe 12 missiles total for this vehicle. Getting down to the armament specific, it's probably going to have an AIM-9X Block 3, and it's going to have the AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile. And there are a bunch of other features listed here that I have no idea how they implement it into Warthunder. They said it's anticipated to incorporate sensor fusion and the ability to coordinate operation with drone swarms. If this vehicle was implemented into Warthunder right now, it wouldn't even be fair. But if I had to implement it in the current BR system with the Rafale and the Typhoon currently owning top tier at 14.0, this vehicle would probably be placed at around 15.7 to 16.0, adjusting for gaps for vehicles that haven't been added yet. And it's looking like the American military is planning to sell these things at a 10% decrease in performance, so it means multiple nations in Warthunder could get access to it. But remember, all this is highly speculative and only for the fun of the video.